Hello and welcome to the 2012 Ickjerk Studios BCS College Football Playoff Selection Show. Scrolling across your screen now are numbers 25 to 6 in the final BCS rankings, which means that these 20 teams will have to wait at least another season for a shot at the national title. But now it's time for the big reveal, the number one team in the nation, and it is the Louisiana State Tigers, who come into the playoff with a perfect 13-0 record, with big wins over number 3 Oregon to start the season, then that 9-6 win in the number 1 versus number 2 matchup back in November over Alabama, then a 41-17 throttling of number 3 Arkansas to close out the regular season, and of course their 42-10 smackdown over number 12 Georgia in the SEC championship game. The number 2 team in the country is a familiar foe to LSU, as it is Alabama, who entered the playoff with an 11-1 record, their only loss being that aforementioned 6-9 game against number 1 LSU, as they face the number 3 team in the country in the Cotton Bowl, who is Oklahoma State. The 11-1 Cowboys are led by the trio of senior quarterback Brandon Weeden, junior wide receiver Justin Blackman, and sophomore running back Joseph Randall, who helped lead the team to their first Big 12 title since 1976, when the conference was known as the Big 8. Additionally, the trio helped make the Cowboys one of the premier scoring teams in the nation. And that just leaves the number 4 and number 5 teams left. The last one in and the first one out. The number 5 team in the nation is the Pac-12 champion, Oregon Ducks, who have an 11-2 record coming off their 49-31 victory over UCLA in the Pac-12 championship game. Their losses were to number 1 LSU in their first game of the season, and bowl-ineligible but nationally ranked USC in their second to last regular season game, which caused them to fall from number 4 spot all the way down to number 10. And then they just didn't have a strong enough finish to pull themselves back into the top 4, as the number 4 team in the country is the Stanford Cardinal, who belong in the same conference and the same division as the Oregon Ducks. The Pac-12 North. Funnily enough, the Cardinal actually lost to the Ducks just a few weeks ago at home, but they crawled their way back in the top 4 with wins over Cal and then ranked number 22 Notre Dame to close out their season. The Cardinal, of course, are led by Heisman runner-up Andrew Luck, and they will look to upend number 1 LSU in the Rose Bowl. We start things off at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, between the undefeated SEC champion, number 1 LSU, and Pac-12 North Division runner-up Stanford. We start things off early in the first with this 20-yard LSU touchdown run. On their following drive, they would find a receiver deep to get inside the Cardinal 10-yard line. A few plays later, they would power forward for another touchdown run. Late in the first, LSU would add to their lead with this field goal. Then at the beginning of the second, they would find a receiver wide open at the back of the end zone to go up by even more. Andrew Luck and the Cardinal offense finally show some life with this big catch and run to get inside the LSU red zone. On their next play, Andrew Luck would finish the drive with this touchdown pass. Not to be outdone, the LSU offense scores yet again on this 34-yard touchdown bomb. Several minutes later, they would score again on another touchdown pass. LSU continues their undefeated season after this 41-7 trampling of Stanford to advance to the BCS College Football Playoff National Championship game against the winner of the Sugar Bowl between number 2 Alabama and number 3 Oklahoma State. We now move on to that game, as the number 3 Oklahoma State Cowboys will try to prevent the number 2 Alabama Crimson Tide from getting another shot at the number 1 LSU Tigers in the national championship game. Oklahoma starts up the scoring with this 32-yard Brandon Weeden touchdown pass. Oklahoma State would extend their lead to 2 scores with another long Brandon Weeden touchdown pass. Not the Tide offense, not the Tide defense, but the Tide special teams are what bring Alabama back into the game, returning this kickoff all the way back for the score to start the second quarter. Joseph Randall would re-extend the lead back to 2 scores, but wait, there was a holding call, and the touchdown is wiped off the board. Oklahoma State is forced to settle for a field goal after the penalty. Oklahoma State leads by 10 at the half. Almost in the Tide red zone, Brandon Weeden looks for a receiver over the middle, and the pass is picked off and taken all the way back for the score, reducing the Cowboys' lead to 3. Alabama would then take the lead midway through the third with this short touchdown run. Alabama would never look back, continuing to pile on the score on their way to a 48-17 victory, and another shot at the undefeated LSU Tigers, but for something a little bit bigger than the SEC West title, the national championship. Alabama would get their revenge as they would shut out LSU in the national championship, 21-0, on their way to the second national title in 3 years. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the 2012 BCS College Football Playoff video. If you liked it, please click the like button. It's very helpful to the channel. And if you enjoyed this kind of video, please consider subscribing. I'm sorry for the lateness of this video. I was in Kansas City last week for a wedding, and sorry for the possibility of an echo in this video. I have to record it in my closet because it's late at night and I didn't want to make the video any later than it's going to be. So, thank you for watching.